Why holding a door open for a woman could get you fired for sexual harassment. One of the startling conclusions from a BBC documentary which left this particular Mail Online writer fearful for her son when he starts work. Okay, so she's the Mail on Sunday sports editor. Her name's Alison Kirvin, and she's petrified for her son. Really? So she works within the openly sexist media, sexist against men, that is, and she's perturbed all of a sudden. All of a sudden, she's concerned for her son. Yeah, wait till he gets divorced and you and him are being denied rights and access to your own children and grandchildren, respectively. Anyway, she starts off, this is a really long article and I'm going to try and cover this as quickly as possible because this woman makes me sick. You know, these very people, they've set up the very situation which all of a sudden they're now so desperately concerned about. I'm so glad I don't have children. On a visit to the theatre a couple of nights ago, oh how posh, I was standing with a small group of friends when yeah, you would have a small group of friends, you're a fucking journalist. When a man came to join us, was he allowed? His shoulders were stooped, if he approached you, no doubt, and his step heavy as he strode across the foyer, frustration oozing from every pore in his skin. I don't understand the rules anymore, he confessed. Everything I say seems to upset people. I told someone at work that she had nice shoes and was warned that it was inappropriate. There was a lot of head shaking and murmurs of sympathy as the group, particularly the women, derided the madness of banning compliments for nice shoes. Yeah, fuck that fucking shit. It's been the women of the media who've been just fucking men around for decades. You do it, whether you, it doesn't, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. And it's the same with opening fucking doors, and she knows it. And now she's trying to persuade herself that she's a victim and she's concerned for her son. Yeah, you should be, because he's fucked. Okay, so she writes some more garbage before getting to this BBC documentary, which apparently is screened this week. This article's a good number of days old, so no doubt it's gone out already, which explores precisely the predicaments between men and women in the workplace. There never used to be one. My tried and trusted advice no longer seems quite so adequate. Yeah, fuck her advice. In fact, it has left me petrified for my 18-year-old son. Yeah, who caused that? So, in the programme, this BBC programme, and the BBC have been attacking men and boys for decades. That's why I got rid of my TV set many years ago. 20 young adults between 18 and 30. I'm going to leave a link to this article in the comments section, pin it to the top, because I'm only doing a bit of this. It's a very long article, but it's mostly bullshit. Between 18 and 30 are brought together to see whether they understand the rules of behaviour in the workplace. Really? Set by who? Politicians? The media? The feminazis who control the media? Whose rules? Whose fucking rules? When you try and say. Over 2 days they watched a specially written drama telling the story of the working relationship between a man and a woman. Do I need to know, for regulars, do I really need to go into that in detail? Specially written BBC drama about the working relationship between a man and a woman? I don't think so. So the BBC had obviously a specific drama written for themselves by feminists and their acolytes, their friends, and it resulted apparently in some kind of jury. Yeah, this is the BBC judging men. Who'd have guessed? And I'm not going to even go through the scenarios. I'll just give you a couple of verdicts. How the men see it. He is too close. He's leaning over her shoulder. But she doesn't seem to find a problem with it. How the women see it. I was shocked Kat didn't have the courage to identify the problem and call it straight away. Yeah, to human resources, whatever. The lawyer's verdict. Oh, they had a barrister. Ryan, the guy, had texted friends about the fit new duty manager, writing, "She wants it, mate. She just doesn't know it yet." Fucking stereotypical feminazi bullshit. And the lawyer's verdict, who's a woman, definitely sexual harassment. Really? If he didn't actually tell her that, now the fuck is that? And you don't have a verdict, bitch. You want the fucking jury and you want the fucking judge. Fuck you, feminist. So it starts off the rest of this bullshit story that the BBC had made up by feminists. She never tells Ryan of her discomfort. He's so busy flirting that he fails to teach her how to use the software, instead of opting to complete the job himself. Okay, we're fucked with that. No more of that. Let's get to the lawyer's verdict. He must have smelt her, because it says, how the men see it. If someone compliments you on your smell, yeah, if she's a BBC feminist stereotype, the smell is full of shit. The smell is shit. That's nice, he said. That's nice perfume. How the women see it. If one of my colleagues had complimented me on my perfume, I wouldn't have taken offence. If she found it offensive, she should have definitely said something. The lawyer's verdict. The perfume comment is sexual harassment. For example, would he say to a man, "You've got a nice perfume"? If not, then it's likely that it's related to sex. So apparently if a guy compliments a woman on her perfume, he wants to fuck her fucking brains out, which is absolute bullshit. Okay, I'm not spending much more time on this article, even though I've only covered a fraction of it. But on that harassment thing, I can recall that I was at a doctor's, probably, I don't know, going back over 2 decades. And as I was leaving his surgery, I noticed he had a striking tie, and it really was. Nothing gay about it, or sexual. I just said, "Hey, that's a nice tie." And he smiled and said, "Thanks." There was nothing sexual about it, so it isn't related to sex, you lawyer bitch! And after that verdict, Ryan, who's the protagonist in all this, he's a bad bastard. He's flirtatious. He's like Ivan the Terrible and Adolf Hitler. His throwaway remark to Kat, the poor helpless female, "Brains of beauty is sexual harassment." Really? Okay, I admit I've got this a bit arse backwards through not covering the whole article, because it's just too long. But in one part, brains of beauty, yeah, he says, he's effectively saying that he's the brains and she's the beauty, and that's sexual harassment. He leans too close to Kat, touching her waist, commenting on her perfume, and it could likewise potentially lead to a tribunal. All of these things, the barrister points out, violate her dignity and as such constitute a harassment case. Well, early in the article, prior to that, which I've skipped down from, she has no dignity. She drank so much as a bar worker, she fucking threw up. Where's the dignity in that? I'm going to try and wrap this up pretty quickly. But the whole, as you can understand, coming from the BBC, even covered by the Mail Online, which is usually pretty anti-BBC, the whole thing's a fucking crock. Okay, I could have gone on and on and on about this particular article in the BBC, frankly, for an hour at least. It's such a long article. But I think I'll finish up by saying that the best rated comment in the comment section here, and you can find it yourself, of course, is holding open a door for someone is just good manners, whether it be for a man or a woman. Over 3,000 thumbs up, arrows up, 15 arrows down. In other words, people are sick and fucking tired of this feminist, feminazi bullshit, whether it's from the BBC or anyone else within the mainstream media. Fuck 'em.